Oh, my.
Okay, here.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Now,
there's a live turkey in there.
You know what? I never realized I was terrified of live turkeys until this moment.
Look at that.
And I sure am.
Turning my back on that turkey.
I was going to bring him in myself, but on second thought, I thought it'd be safer let my friend Blaine bring him. But
He's wearing a boiler shirt.
So, well,
that's a full-size turkey.
Can you
all
see
right.
there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Eat.
It says
Eat beef.
Yeah.
That's how old is that
Get a
turkey,
selfie
Blaine?
with the bird.
McGee's getting a
Look
selfie.
at him staring at you.
So consider this an interview because, he could be your Thanksgiving
Dinner.
meal,
Yeah.
but you
Now,
have
have you pardoned this turkey? Or
No. I mean,
Do you still have that power? As
he has approval rights, and right now he doesn't look like he likes any of you.
No, he looks rather upset.
As the former governor, do you have the power to pardon a turkey?
I do, and given the way he's looking at all of you, I think maybe he's going to have to live a little longer.
That's hilarious. Blaine, how old is that turkey?
He's about 4 months old.
That's
4
all?
months?
Wring his neck. Let's eat. Let's eat.
How much does he weigh, Blaine?
He's about 27 pounds.
I was going to say, he
27
looks like
pounds.
these 2 bowling balls worth.
Buddy?
By the
4
way,
months.
we are on Facebook Live right now.
Can I pet him? Or?
Do they bite?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
More of a pet.
Chris, you will never eat a turkey again. All right. That's.
I'll eat one Thursday.
Yeah,
because
that's
this
not
is
stopping
America.
me.
But not this way.
Yeah, no. This one, I guess, will have a long life.
I keep thinking Blaine's going to do a bit like mad at him and what was that?
Oh, you think
or
it's
that Rod Hall and Emu or whatever?
Yeah, the talking emu.
Yeah.
No, that's a gorgeous animal.
Well, anyway, from your friends at Purdue, we
Thank
just
you
a
very
little
much.
of all the above. So.
Oh, very cool.
So we get
Thank
our own
you.
turkey? How cool is that, Tom? Can we keep him?
Come on, Daddy. Can we keep him?
We call him like an 8-track or something.
Please?
8-track the turkey.
Oh,
Well, I
thank
think
you.
I'm sure he's fine for. Does the turkey have a name, by the way?
Jive.
Jive turkey.
Jive turkey.
Hey, buddy.
You can't name the turkey because you can't eat him.
Oh, you're right.
Every farm girl knows that. You
that's
don't
a
name the
gigantic
calves because you.
And, of course, you also brought us Indiana Purdue football tickets. Is that right?
It's not a tough ticket. This year, Chick.
Basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah,
That's a tough
basketball.
ticket. Yeah.
No, I'll go off on my usual rant on this. I sooner or later we either have to get the bucket game moved off of Thanksgiving Saturday, or moved to the Hoosier
Dome.
Lucas
You're
Oil
right.
Stadium,
You're right.
where it could be a great downtown event. And I've brought this up for 2 or 3 years, and I haven't got anywhere yet, but I haven't given up. I think because it's really hard. The students are not on either campus, and it's
Right.
a harder place both are harder to travel to.
Right.
So maybe the Big Ten will let us move the game, and if we can't do that, I still think it'd be a great Saturday. At Thanksgiving.
Now, are you responsible for having more than 10 teams in the Big Ten? I'd like to object to that.
All happened before I got there. And I'm with you. I lost contact with it. I understood it when the Big 12 had 10 teams and the Big 10 had 12 teams, but that didn't last.
No.
And now I can't tell you.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
crazy.
the oddest thing in the world, though, isn't it? I mean, it's just.
I'm
And
trying
then
to,
they're trying to say we have 40% more, so that makes it better. It just makes it more confusing.
and you're trying to raise children and explain to them. It's hard enough to explain how do you spell pneumonia, but then this kind of stuff happens. Why are there 12 teams in the Big Ten? Now, I have been objecting
14,
to
yeah.
something. And since we have a learned man, an Ivy League graduate, a man who has some kind of degree
It's
in
amazing
jurisprudence.
that you guys
Duke, we didn't know.
You guys both went to Ivy League schools.
point-
I
that
still
isn't my
can't get
point.
over that.
My point is,
I cannot understand that.
We finally have someone who can do something about this. So the other day, I'm at Starbucks.
Oh, God.
There's a woman in an IU T-shirt, and it's green. Now, as you know, I'm sure you're somewhat familiar with IU. Green is Michigan State. So now at Purdue, could we do something so that they don't start making red Purdue shirts?
That won't
You
happen.
can pretty well count on that. Not that
I
much.
was going to say.
Too late.
I've seen pink, but I think that has other.
I understand.
Sure.
That's fine. I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
I understand that. I'm just saying all these colleges now, you're going to see a maize and blue Michigan State shirt pretty soon. And I don't. Now, here's my analogy. Say you were in the Crips, Governor.
I was once upon a time, as it happens.
You have to wear
He
certain
asked you not to
colors.
bring his passport. Okay.
Just because it's St. Patrick's Day, you don't wear a green scarf.
No.
I'm just saying.
Bandana, I don't think they call them scarves.
I'm not ascots. I'm not sure.
Comparison to
I'm
lose-
not up on my Crips gear. Wow. So how much fun is it being you seem to be having a great time being president of a great university.
I have to confess, it is a lot of fun. I tell all my friends at this point, you get to hang out with young people and smart people, and that's a pretty good start. It's a great place, and our we think we're doing the good things for the state and the country. I tell you, the young people on that campus are so smart and so purposeful. I mean, not all 30,000, but close to it, and it's a fun thing to do.
And now you guys have Purdue University has many astronauts. Put it that
23 at last count. Yeah.
Wow.
1/3 of all the manned U.S. space flights have had at least one Boilermaker on board.
Whoa.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
First man on the moon, of course, and also the most recent, Gene Cernan. Yeah.
Wow. You got to meet a bunch of astronauts?
Yeah. A lot of them.
Have you met Dr. David Wolf?
Yes, many times. Wonderful guy.
Isn't he a great guy?
Oh, so smart.
He's got the greatest stories. He once told a story on the air here. He said, "You don't know quiet till you've been on the space station and all the power goes out.
That's more than quiet.
You can hear your heart beating and nothing else."
Wow.
And then some guy screaming in Russian something about his mother and how he's going to miss her. Being the president of a big university, what kind of duties do you have? And there's so much to be reviewing all the time.
Yeah, it's a full-time job. I mean, that's a $2 billion enterprise. You want to try to make sure the money's being well spent, and you want to try to obviously support our faculty in getting better all the time.
Do you have to hold a lot of parties?
A lot of events. They're not all.
Do you insist when you have an event do you insist that before you arrive they release doves? The governor's here.
You got to make sure the keg's cold, okay?
Right.
You got to.
Have you ridden your motorcycle onto the football field?
Yes, once. It was very memorable, and I thought I learned in the last job, careful with these things that sound like a lot of fun, and then you get there. I think throw out the first pitch, right? You get there, and you realize that the upside is this
minimal,
much, and the downside is huge. And that was the case, but I couldn't turn them down. I ran into some kids on campus from the band. They said, "Hey, we were going to ask for an appointment. What do you want?" Well, the Notre Dame game. We want you to be part of our halftime show at the Notre Dame game. ABC night game.
Yeah.
I said, okay, great, sure. What do you want? He said, "Well, it's going to have a motorcycle theme, and we know you like those, and so we're going to play all these old tunes, Born to Be Wild and so forth. And what we want is you to come at the climax, come roaring down the ramp into the end zone, hard right at the tuba section, out to the 50-yard line, hard left." Run up on the ladder and conduct the fight song while we leave the field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Not
thinking,
much pressure there.
Yeah. And based on my previous experience, I'm seeing myself on YouTube for the rest of my life. Right? When the bike goes over on
ESPN.
Oh, you know what I was actually thinking of? The Agony of Defeat guy on Wide World of Sport.
Yeah.
I could have been the new Agony of Defeat guy because 800-pound motorcycles and squishy turf don't go together. But we got away with it, and I've got the pictures to prove it, and I'm never doing that again.
So let's just say you become president of Purdue. How long before you have to wait before you get to hit the drum?
Oh, did that right away.
Because I was thinking that'd be day one.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, where's the drum? I'm going to hit it.
Yeah. I love all those guys. And the one thing I haven't done yet, we've got a lot of things. I'd like to, football games, I roam all over the stadium. I always say it's a full contact sport the way I do it. Sit in the student section for part of the game. But the one thing the timing has never worked. But, when we score, the drum guys do push-ups in the end zone, one per point. So that's the one thing still on the checklist.
You're pretty fit. You could certainly do it.
I can do it. It's just that number one, we haven't scored a lot lately, and it would have to be when I'm standing down close by, and that's never worked out. But one of these days.
Now, how much international travel have you done for Purdue?
Oh, at least one trip a year. We've got great alumni in places like India and Taiwan and Korea and China, and so I've gone to visit them.
And not to mention the fact that Purdue is such an international campus now. You've got students from all over the world.
Yeah, one of the most international. About 1 in 7 or 8 of our freshman class come from somewhere else, but it isn't new. I mean, there are people who are. I go see people in their 70s and 80s who found their way there a long time ago and went back home and did great things.
You don't have an engineering background. Purdue is one of the greatest engineering schools in the world. So I'm assuming the engineering staff. Obviously, they could pretty much pull anything over on you. You'd have no idea. They could create courses that were so fake, you'd have no idea. They'd go to
them and everybody
Daniels
else.
think this is money well spent.
Well, you're right about that. Although it was really an attraction of going there. It's one of the biggest things we were involved in. We're growing our engineering school dramatically. The nation needs more, and we're good at it. So we've invested heavily in that school.
I think that it's the most underappreciated aspect of our culture. When everybody has one of these smartphones, and that they do. What's the big shindig they're doing in a few weeks with all these movie stars are going to Washington D.C. and they're getting all these big awards from the president, which is all fine.
the Kennedy Honors,
Tom Hanks is a
the
great guy, but
Medal of Freedom.
I
or
want to
whatever.
find out. They should give gigantic awards to the people that figured out which button can make me talk into this thing and it actually does stuff. I mean,
Well, a lot of those people were from Purdue University. You go out to Silicon Valley or places like that, and they're all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, we just take engineering for granted, and people like me are always going, well, they'll figure out a way to, well, your guys are the they guys, that when we say, well, someday they'll have this robot that'll drive our car, and all that stuff happens because of all these geniuses that are engineers.
I'm for the self-driving car being perfected and approved the day after they take my license.
Yeah.
That's when it's okay.